How can you justify going on an international business trip when you don't even have a job? Why make up such stories? It's obviously false. I actually have a job that requires me to travel abroad. Well, if we're getting a divorce, I can't be with someone who lies. With that, he stormed off. He believes I'm lazy and unemployed just because I work from home, but I contribute a stable income and help with our household expenses. Yet, he refuses to see that. A few days after I returned from my business trip, I found divorce papers already signed. I understand now. If he's unwilling to see things differently, maybe it's better for us to part ways. So, I signed the papers and went to the state court. My name is Alexandra Robinson. I'm 29. My husband's name is Tom. He's 30. We met in college and married when I was 25. We were more like best friends than romantic partners, always open and honest with each other. That openness was beneficial, but it sometimes led to unexpected results. Everything shifted for me when I shared my dream with him. I've always dreamed of running an online store specializing in imported goods. The idea started during my part-time job at a boutique while I was in college. I've always loved foreign designs and was drawn to them even when working at that boutique. After graduating, I worked there full-time, but I couldn't shake my dream. I wanted my own shop, filled with imported items to share with customers. My parents and friends supported me, offering encouraging words like, "Good luck," and "You'll succeed." Surely, Tom would understand and back me up. So, one evening when Tom got home from work, I tried to bring it up casually. "Hey, Tom, remember how I've been talking about opening my own shop? About that?" "Oh, not again. You can't just act on a whim. You should give it up." "Why would you say that?" "This isn't some sudden idea. I've been thinking about it for a while. Sometimes things just aren't possible. Life isn't as simple as you think." "You don't need to be so harsh. Why do you always shoot down my ideas right away?" I said, my voice unintentionally rising. Tom looked at me coldly, dismissing my thoughts. "Fine, tell me, what's your backup plan if your business fails?" "Well, I don't expect it to fail right away." "And what about your income while that happens? The bills and expenses we share, are you saying I'll have to handle everything?" "Fine, do whatever you want," Tom muttered, "but if it doesn't work out and you regret it, don't come crying to me." Every time I bring up starting my own business, Tom gets frustrated. It's clear why. He's worried my income will become unstable. I work at an import store that's doing well, with plenty of customers. Because of that, I make a decent income, maybe even more than Tom, who works in an office. I've been covering more expenses, like rent and food, because of it. But Tom can't accept the idea of my income dropping. At first, he'd say, "Take your time, prepare well," but now, he just tries to discourage me. Regardless, I won't abandon my dream of owning my own shop, no matter how much he opposes it. I decided to prioritize my dream despite Tom's objections. At 26, I launched my online boutique. The beginning was tough, just like Tom had predicted, but I pushed through. I adapted to online sales, partnered with popular e-commerce platforms, used social media for marketing, and did everything I could. Thanks to all this hard work, a year later, I had secured a stable income. From there, I grew my customer base and expanded my product offerings. Now, my annual sales have reached $300,000. Since Tom had been so against it, I never discussed my sales with him. I figured he wouldn't care, and he never asked. However, he always reminded me about the bills and living expenses. I gave him the money he requested without any argument and kept work-related discussions neutral. One day, I received a message in my shop's DMs. "I'm a regular customer of your shop," the message said. "Would you consider selling furniture along with the other international goods?" Actually, many customers had suggested adding furniture to my shop, but selling furniture online is more complicated than smaller items. Furniture is pricier, and material quality is essential. Even though I had experience in the import industry, selling furniture without seeing it first is risky. So, I decided to reach out to my former boss at the import shop to get advice. "Hello, is this the manager?" I asked. "I'd like to discuss something with you." As soon as Amara, the manager, recognized me, she sounded genuinely thrilled. "Alexandra, it's been so long. If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know." "I've been getting requests to sell furniture in my online store," I explained. "Furniture? That sounds like a big challenge," Amara responded. "Yeah, that's why I wanted to see the items in person before selling them." "How do you source yours?" "I understand. I can definitely help with that," Amara replied. She had connections with overseas suppliers, and she offered to reach out to one of them and arrange for them to supply furniture to my shop. Thanks to my good relationship with Amara, the overseas supplier agreed to her suggestion. I made the decision to travel abroad to source the furniture, but before I left, I needed to talk to my husband, so, one night, I brought it up. Tom, would it be okay if I were away for a week, the week after next? A week? Why do you need to be gone for so long? Well, I might need to travel abroad for work with Amara, from the shop I used to work at. Wait, abroad? That's a ridiculous lie. What do you mean? Tom pointed at me with a mocking look. Going abroad for work? You hardly have a job. What are you talking about? Hold on, you know I run my online shop, right? This trip is to find items to sell. So, you expect me to believe you're going overseas for work? Don't be ridiculous. Your side business can only do so much. Believe what you want, but our sales are doing well, and our customer base is growing. This trip came about because of a request from one of our customers. If you keep insisting on this, I won't let you leave for a whole week just to mess around. With that, Tom stormed off to the bathroom. I let out a sigh, not meaning to. Why can't you just understand? His reaction is so harsh just because he disapproves of my work, but I can't go abroad without his approval. I need to convince him, no matter what. Even though I was reluctant to bring it up again, I couldn't ignore the situation. The following day, when my husband returned from work, I tried once again to discuss the matter we had talked about the previous day. Honestly, I'm exhausted. I don't have the energy to deal with your accusations. I'm just telling you how it is. An unemployed person going abroad for a business trip? You really have a knack for making up stories. I'm not lying. I have to go abroad for work, I pleaded, reaching out to grab his arm, but he just looked down at me, scoffing. Really? Well, liars get divorced too. Divorced? What are you talking about? You know I can't stand liars, especially people like you who always try to act like they're above everyone else. I didn't mean. Shut up. You're just looking for an excuse to go on vacation, and I bet your boss is a man too, huh? Divorce. I'll make sure I get my fair share of everything. With that, he stormed off. My anger flared, my pulse pounding in my ears. Who does he think he is? He looks down on me just because I work from home. All he wants is to feel superior. Enough is enough. If that's how he wants it, then I'll go ahead and do what I need to do. From that point on, I stopped asking for his permission and moved forward with my business trip abroad as planned. 2 weeks later, Mahi and I flew overseas. We headed straight to our suppliers in the UK to check on the furniture and accessories for my boutique. While there, I took the chance to explore the sites with Amara, and I had some enjoyable, fulfilling days. But it wasn't all easy. My phone was constantly buzzing with messages from Tom. You didn't really go abroad, did you? Come home now. If you come back today, I'll forgive you. Time's up. We're getting divorced. You useless woman. Each message only made me angrier, but I chose to stay silent. I knew responding would only escalate things. When I got back, if he was open to it, we'd talk again. So, I decided to enjoy my week abroad without stress. When my business trip wrapped up, I said goodbye to Amara at the airport and started my journey back. Facing Tom would be awkward, but I steeled myself as I walked through the front door. I'm home. The house was dark, with no lights welcoming me. As I entered the living room, I noticed clothes strewn across the floor, and the space was cluttered. Dirty dishes and noodle containers filled the sink. Amid the chaos, I spotted a piece of paper on the desk. What's this? It was a divorce paper, filled out. Next to it, a hastily written note read, "To the cheating, unemployed woman, I'm ending this because you never listen. Fill out the divorce papers and return them right away. If you want forgiveness, come to my parents' house, and I might reconsider." Just reading the note, I could almost hear Tom's smug voice in my head. He probably thought I'd rush to apologize, but I had no intention of doing that. I signed the divorce papers and took them straight to the courthouse. The divorce went through without a hitch. Afterward, I went to the real estate agent and canceled the lease for our apartment. This apartment was originally mine before we even met. Tom moved in when we decided to live together because it was spacious enough. We had talked about upgrading to a bigger place if we had kids, but clearly, that wasn't happening now. After canceling the lease, I immediately started packing. The next day, I sent my belongings to my parents' house and arranged for Tom's things to go to his parents' place. Meanwhile, he kept sending me absurd messages with demands. Stop being stubborn and apologize now. You have until the end of the week. But I ignored them all. Once the apartment was cleared out, I returned to my parents' house. A week later, my phone rang nonstop from the moment I woke up. Even though I ignored it, the calls kept coming. Finally, I answered, hoping this would be the last one. I pressed the button to pick up. "Hello?" His voice erupted immediately. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I was startled by his shouting and instinctively pulled the phone away from my ear, deciding to record the conversation just in case. "What's the problem? There's nothing to discuss anymore. Don't play games with me. Why did you send all my things to my parents' house? I just went to the apartment, and it's completely empty." "Oh, that? I canceled the lease, so I had to move everything out." "What? You canceled it? How dare you do that without talking to me first? Without consulting you? The apartment was in my name. I can make decisions about it, don't you think?" At this point, I didn't care anymore. His words didn't affect me, and I answered with a tone of defiance. "Tom, stop being angry. I don't care about the lease. We were married, remember? I lived there too. You shouldn't have canceled it without discussing it with me." "Married? Yeah, we are. Even if you've been unfaithful, we're still married. But canceling the lease on our apartment without consulting your husband first, what the hell is wrong with you? Do you think you can just do whatever you want, especially since you're unemployed? I'll never forgive you for this." He kept shouting, not even caring how I felt. He was so furious that he didn't even consider me. It was time to tell him the truth. "Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're making a fuss over nothing. We're not married anymore." "What? What do you mean?" "I filed the divorce papers you left lying around, so we're done. Why would I keep paying rent for a place with someone I don't even know anymore?" "Wait, are you serious? You don't have a job. You'd be in trouble without me." "What? That's ridiculous. I've never depended on you for anything." Tom went silent, caught off guard by my response. I could feel the frustration building and couldn't hold it back any longer. "You've always underestimated me. I'm not the lazy person you think I am. I didn't cheat on you. I was doing my job abroad to take care of my clients. If you don't believe that, fine, but I'll never forgive you for this." "But wait, your online business? It's not easy to increase sales. I've been working hard for 3 years." "3 years? Just so you know, I've been earning way more than you. You've always looked down on me. I don't want a marriage like this. You can live your miserable life however you want. I don't care." After hanging up, I deleted Tom's contact and blocked him everywhere. I'm sure he eventually realized the truth about my successful online business, likely through mutual friends. Even though he tried to reach out, I had no intention of reconnecting. Tom came to my parents' house once, but my dad turned him away. His parents had learned about how he treated me and kicked him out. Now, he's renting a place near his job and living alone. As for me, I decided to stay with my parents for a while. Luckily, my job allows me to work from home, which is convenient because my parents' house needs some renovations. I plan to get started on that soon. With my online store doing well, I'm not worried about anything. I have the freedom to travel whenever I need to. Even though the divorce happened, I have no regrets about following my dreams. I'll keep working hard and show gratitude to those who've supported me. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and stay amazed.